The moment you start to pull away from a narcissist is the moment their mask begins to crack. They can feel it. Your silence, your strength, your distance. And that's when the real chaos begins. Because when a narcissist realizes they're losing control, they don't let you go peacefully. They make sure you pay for leaving. At first, they'll act confused, almost innocent, like they have no idea what's going on. They'll pretend not to notice that you've started pulling away, that your messages are shorter, that your voice sounds calmer, your eyes don't light up the same way when they walk into the room. They'll send those short, casual texts that seem harmless at first. Hey, you okay? You been quiet lately? Did I do something? But it's not a concern. It's surveillance. They're not checking on you because they care. They're checking because they're losing access. Access to your emotions. Access to your reactions. Access to your energy, which has always been the fuel for their ego. They start to notice tiny things, that you're not explaining yourself anymore, that you no longer rush to comfort them when they guilt trip you, that you respond hours later instead of seconds. And that's when their mind starts to race, because for the first time, they don't feel in control. See, a narcissist reads your silence like a threat. It tells them something's changed, something they can't quite name, but it's there. It's the feeling that you're slipping out of their hands, and deep down that terrifies them. Because to a narcissist, love was never about connection. It was about control. So when you start to pull back, they see it as betrayal, as defiance, as a danger. That's when the panic sets in. You'll feel it in the sudden shift of their tone, the tension in their messages, the way they hover, just a little too close, trying to read your face, trying to decode what they've done wrong, not to fix it, but to fix you. Because losing you isn't about losing love. It's about losing the power they built their entire illusion on. And once that illusion starts to crack, they'll do anything to glue it back together. When they sense they're slipping, they'll switch tactics fast. Almost overnight, the silence turns into noise. The person who once ignored your calls is suddenly the one blowing up your phone. Message after message. Missed call after missed call. And now their words sound softer. Their tone is suddenly gentle, almost desperate. They'll start sending long paragraphs, pages of emotional confessions that sound deep, real, heartfelt. You'll read lines like, "I've been doing a lot of thinking. I realize now how much you mean to me. You're the only one who's ever truly understood me. Can we please just start over?" And for a moment, it feels real. It feels like the person you fell in love with has finally come back. It's like maybe all the pain was leading to this breakthrough. But don't be fooled. This isn't growth. It's a performance. They're not apologizing because they've changed. They're apologizing because you did. You stopped reacting. You stopped chasing. You stopped feeding the ego that once devoured your peace. And that shift, that quiet, confident detachment, it terrifies them. Because deep down, a narcissist knows one thing: without your emotional response, they lose their reflection. They can't see themselves as the hero, the victim, or the one in control. So they'll recreate the fantasy. The love bombing, the compliments, the "I miss yous," not to heal the relationship, but to reset it. To pull you back into the cycle where they feel powerful again. You'll start to see the same patterns repeat. The same promises whispered in new words. The same urgency to fix everything overnight. But if you look closely, nothing's actually changed. The words are different. The motive is the same. Because the moment you start believing again, they'll relax. They'll sense that control returning. And slowly, piece by piece, the mask will start to slip again. This isn't love trying to rebuild. It's manipulation trying to survive. When their love bombing fails, the rage begins. It's subtle at first. You'll feel the tension in their words, the shift in their tone. The warmth that once wrapped around you like comfort now feels sharp, cold, and dangerous. They'll say you've become distant, cold, selfish, ungrateful. Every boundary you set will become a weapon they throw back at you. They'll say you've changed. Or, "You're not the person I fell in love with." They'll act like your healing is an attack, like your silence is cruelty, like your peace is punishment. And soon, they'll start rewriting the story. To them, the truth doesn't matter, only the version that keeps them innocent. They'll twist every moment, every conversation, until they're the victim and you're the villain. Behind your back, they'll start the smear campaign. They'll tell others you're unstable, crazy, or toxic. They'll paint themselves as the one who tried, the one who loved you despite everything, the one who gave you everything and got nothing back. Because in their world, the story must always protect their ego. Behind closed doors, the real battle begins. They'll do anything to trigger you. They'll poke at your insecurities, bring up your past, use your own words against you, just to get that one reaction. Because a reaction means power. And to them, power is proof that you still care. If you yell, they win. If you cry, they win. If you explain, they win. They'll bait you, corner you, even play kind for a moment, just to lure you back into the emotional chaos they feed on. It's not about fixing anything. It's about control. Always control. And when you don't react, when your silence becomes your boundary, they'll rage even harder, because they can't stand the mirror of your calm. They can't handle being powerless in a story they no longer control. That's when their mask cracks completely, and for the first time, you see who they've really been all along. When nothing works, when you've stopped reacting, stopped explaining, stopped feeding their chaos, they grow desperate. You'll see it in the way they start showing up unexpectedly. A message out of nowhere, a sudden call after weeks of silence, or even their name appearing where you least expect it in your social media notifications. In mutual friend stories, in the comments of old posts they never used to care about, they're watching, not out of love, but out of panic, because they can feel the grip loosening and control slipping through their hands. They'll post things designed to make you second-guess yourself. Photos with people you've never seen before, quotes about moving on or finally finding peace, smiles that feel too forced, captions that sound like they're written for you, but meant for everyone else to read. It's not a coincidence. It's a strategy. They want you to wonder, to question whether you made a mistake, to feel that ache in your chest again, the one they used to feed on. And if none of that pulls you back, they'll reach for their final weapon, the replacement. They'll find someone new, and they'll make sure you see it. Every post, every story, every caption crafted for your eyes. They'll say things like, "I've never felt this happy before," or "I finally found someone who understands me." But don't believe the act. It's not love, it's leverage. The new person isn't a soulmate, they're a prop, a mirror held up just to reflect your pain back at you. Because in their mind, if they can make you jealous, if they can make you doubt yourself, if they can make you hurt, then they still matter. Their goal was never to move on, was to make you question your worth, to remind you that even when they're gone, they still want to control how you feel. But what they don't realize is you've already broken free. Because the moment you stop looking back, their entire illusion starts to crumble. But here's what they never expect. When you finally pull away for good, something inside you begins to shift. At first, it's quiet, almost unnoticeable. The silence that once felt so heavy starts to feel peaceful. You begin sleeping through the night again. You laugh without guilt. You stop checking your phone, wondering if they'll call, and start focusing on the moments that make you feel alive. You stop walking on eggshells and start walking in freedom. Your thoughts become your own again. Your smile stops feeling forced. You begin to recognize the person in the mirror, the one who was always there, just hidden under their manipulation. And little by little, the chaos they created begins to fade. The constant anxiety, the confusion, the guilt they planted like seeds. All of it starts to lose its power. Because the truth is, a narcissist's worst nightmare isn't losing you. It's realizing they can't control you anymore. They can't twist your emotions. They can't rewrite your reality. They can't make you doubt yourself just to feel strong again. You've reclaimed your peace. You've reclaimed your truth. You've reclaimed yourself. And that's the power they never wanted you to find. Because once you remember who you are, they can't reach you anymore. Not through guilt, not through fear, not even through love. You've stepped out of their story and back into your own. So if you're pulling away from a narcissist right now, I want you to remember this. Their reaction isn't love, it's exposure. Every text, every guilt trip, every sudden burst of affection is just a mirror reflecting who they truly are. Their panic shows their truth. Their silence reveals their emptiness. Their rage exposes their fear of losing control. It's all just noise, a desperate attempt to pull you back into their storm. But if you can stay still, if you can hold your ground just a little longer, you'll feel something you haven't felt in a long time: peace. The kind of peace that doesn't depend on their approval, their apology, or their attention. Because freedom doesn't begin when they let you go. It begins when you decide not to return. And if you're ready to understand what happens next, watch my next video, because that's the moment their entire illusion begins to collapse. And your healing truly begins.